Ben Gordon yet in this fourth quarter.
Well, they came back with Gennaro Pargo, which I thought was interesting, as opposed to Ben Gordon.
Gordon right now on the bench, surprisingly. Jermaine O'Neal getting a little pressure from the veteran Funderburk, and that's his assignment now. Scott Skiles putting Funderburk in just his second game coming out of, I guess you would say, retirement. He didn't think he'd be playing again. Wiatkowski, Griffin. This is Jared Reiner.
Oh, he fell asleep on him.
And Pargo hits. It's a two-pointer, but it brings Chicago to within one.
Anthony Johnson fell asleep. He got watching the ball, and Pargo knows that Jared Reiner is not a guy that's going to shoot it. So Pargo freed himself to get a shot and knocked it down.
15 for Pargo, an 8-0 run for Chicago. There's Reggie for the jackknife jumper. And Reggie Miller tonight, 3 of 12 from the floor. And the Bulls can take the lead. Can you imagine the Philadelphia 76ers right now after their victory against Atlanta in their locker rooms watching the conclusion of this game, wondering where they're going to be going in the first round, Boston or Detroit?
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Oh, loose ball, and Griffin picks it up.
They got good hands that time by Reiner and Funderburk. Pacers have got to come up with loose balls.
This is Funderburk in against O'Neal. It counts, and the foul on Jermaine O'Neal.
Now they felt he did not get out of the restricted area. Left-handed Lawrence Funderburk will get a chance to take. That's the area you want to try to watch. Does Jermaine get out? No, not even close. And Funderburk, who struggled when he first got into the game, has now gotten into a little bit of an offensive flow.
What a night and what a story for Lawrence Funderburk. His second game just joining the Bulls, having not played all season. And he has 9 points, 7 of them in this fourth quarter. So the Bulls by 1. Crowd standing. The playoff atmosphere, and it's coming down to the final 2 minutes. Reggie Miller cross court. Jackson has been quiet. He shoots. He scores.
Smart play. He ended up making a move, and Gennaro Pargo at 6'2" was on him. At 6'6", Jackson can shoot over the top.
Detroit or Chicago or Boston. It changes on every shot. Pargo 20 feet away, and he's got it again.
Yeah, he's got it going is what he does, and he can back you up with his quickness.
Pargo, who last year played for the Lakers, Toronto, and Chicago, has found a home back in his home. Johnson, jumper, swish. Anthony Johnson, the unsung hero tonight. He has 15. And the Pacers bounce back in front by 1.
They got to stop the clock because there's 23 seconds on the shot clock, and the ball was already advanced three-quarter court. It normally takes you in the neighborhood of 5 to 6 seconds to get the ball that far.
Scott Skiles seeing his team hang in. He's got a very unusual looking lineup out here on the floor. He doesn't have a starter. He's going with newcomer Funderburk in his second game, the veteran Griffin, the undrafted rookie in Reiner, Wiatkowski, and the key man right there with the ball is Pargo. Funderburk just learning the offense, nearly stolen by Reggie Miller. Griffin, no. Pacers with the lead and the basketball. Looking at Rick Carlisle, calling out the play. We have 1 minute left on the nose.
Well, let's see, can you get screen and roll so Reggie can get Pargo on him, and they didn't do it. So Reggie's just going to have to take the shot.
Or Johnson for 3.
Big one.
Anthony Johnson, time and again, looking like Reggie Miller tonight. And grabbed by Reggie Miller as the Pacers now with a 4-point cushion. Chicago calls time. 51 seconds to go. Anthony Johnson in his tribute to Reggie Miller. For 18. And Reggie Miller in the backcourt, initially looking for the shot, getting it to Johnson, but here is that play to give Indiana a 4-point lead.
Now, how about Reggie with the presence of mind. See, this is where he's had to really fight himself, where you want to take over and do so well for the fans with things going, but you got Anthony Johnson, who's knocked down a couple three-pointers and has played well, and you give him the ball. I mean, that's really giving yourself up in a time where Reggie's normally taking it for himself because he's just that good.
Does Johnson make the play? No, says the official. He thought he deflected it off the ball. Scott Skiles continues to stay with this reserve lineup. His miracle maker in the fourth quarter, Ben Gordon, continues to watch from the bench. Getting these players some playoff experience. You're going to have to count on them next week as they go up against Washington. Foul on Jermaine O'Neal. Fifth foul on O'Neal.
It's a tough play for Jermaine to try to make because he's rotating, so he's still moving.
And made to order for the Bulls because they stopped the clock. 33.5 seconds. And could move to within 2. Remember, they pulled out a game with 5.8 seconds last night left against the Knicks when Gordon hit the winner to beat the Knicks by 1. Bulls have the top bench in the league. Pacers bench has been hot, at least coming into tonight's game. Timeout. And the Bulls keep it extremely interesting. 33.5 seconds to go in the fourth. Are the Pacers going to Boston or Detroit? We'll find out when we come back. Well, the Pacers hope they'll be celebrating both Reggie Miller's legendary career and the victory here tonight. It's a 2-point game. Reggie Miller with 33.5 seconds to go in his Hall of Fame career regular season-wise. He will, of course, be back on the floor in a Pacer uniform this weekend for the playoffs, to be determined on what court. 83-81 Indiana as this script takes us down to the final 33 seconds. Indiana with the basketball.
Take my chances with the Pacers up 2. End of the ball. Steven Jackson may end up getting it because I'm sure they're going to be king on Reggie.
Crowd chanting for Reggie Miller to hit this dramatic final shot. Fargo, and he bounces that one out of bounds.
Well, he hit it, and the ball bounced off of the ground, and he tried to save it. There's 4 seconds left. The Pacers are going to use a 20-second timeout. That was some serious coverage here. Fargo's over the top getting to that ball. See, the ball hit Reggie, and then Fargo made if Fargo had let that go, Pacers would have really gotten a bad break.
Chicago led 48-38 at the half. Bulls have scored only 33 points in the second half. The timeout situation, game number 82. Pacers looking to wrap up the season at 44-38. We talk about getting Boston or Detroit in the first round. Either way they go, if the Pacers do get Boston and get by the first round, it's going to be Detroit waiting for them anyway.
That's way they love it. You got to see Detroit.
Unless, of course, Philadelphia comes up with the supplies in the first round, if that's the way it's bracketed, and we should know shortly. 4 seconds for the Pacers to shoot and to nail this big bucket. It's in the hands of Reggie. He fakes, he shoots. Oh! But Dale Davis gets the rebound. Final seconds. They can't reach a Pacer. And there it is.
Boy, Reggie is really disappointed. Look, he sits on the Bulls bench. It is so disappointing that he really wanted to ice the game. That's why I'm telling you, he's been fighting his emotions the whole game. You can just see it. I mean, this one is in, gets his feet set, goes down, I mean, in, hits the backboard, and come out. You can't ask for more.
And that's the way it was supposed to be written. But Steven Jackson can still do that damage with 2 foul shots, and there's one of them. And as Stacey Pates had talked about with Reggie, the ones he remembers or the ones he misses. he's missed, and this one may live with him for a while.
The part of it that may let it go away is if the Pacers can come away with a victory. That may help a little bit.
But as far as the storybook finish, that's what was the way it was supposed to go. But the Pacers by 4 with just under 4 ticks left. Indiana 85, Chicago 81. The Bulls need their miracle now. And right now the Pacers in good position. Reggie Miller still thinking of that last opportunity, which would have closed the book on his legendary career in Reggie miracle moment fashion. A definite memory, and he is still feeling it.
I'm telling you, I've been watching him the whole game because I wondered. You and I talked at the top about the emotions, and I just wondered how he was going to manage it. Because the balance is not to be too far up, too far down, but you can't help being up just because it's your night. And then you've got to balance it because sometimes you just try too hard, and I'm not so sure that you don't have that a little bit.
Chicago, no timeouts. Have to put this ball in play. And it is Reiner who drills it, and quickly. Pacers just trying to get the ball into play. If they get in the hands of Reggie, at least would close out the scoring at the foul line. Oh, a steal! Hardware the jumper at the buzzer, and that is it. Game number 82 gets down to the final tick, the final shot, and the Indiana Pacers able to withstand the Chicago Bulls 85-83. Reggie Miller goes out a winner. And there, two former teammates, Antonio Davis and Scott Skiles, who will probably hang around here to watch the festivities for Reggie. Gets his final congratulations. For the fans, what makes it a little easier, they know they are not seeing Reggie Miller walk off the floor for the final time. This is ceremonial conclusion of the regular season. And Reggie will still have the uniform on as the Pacers move into the playoffs in the 6th spot and will face the Boston Celtics Saturday, game 1 at 7 o'clock Indianapolis time. Well, let's go to Stacey Pates with the Pacer hero tonight, Anthony Johnson.
Thanks a lot, Al. Anthony, as you look at this game, Reggie Miller approached it just like he approaches everything else. So how important was it for this team to get a win for Reggie Miller tonight?
It was very important just because our playoff standing, we wanted the 6th spot. We didn't want to fall into that 7th spot. And with it being Reggie's last home game, we just wanted to pull it out and send him out on a good note. So we were able to go out. We made it tough on ourselves, but we were able to get it done.
What have you learned from Reggie Miller?
Man, just preparation. The more you prepare, the more you are to make big shots, to take big shots and make big shots. And, he's rubbed off on me a great deal. I have a great deal of confidence coming down the stretch, but I owe it all to him.
AJ, congratulations. You guys have a date with Boston.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, back to you, Al.
All right, Stacey, thank you very much. What a ball game for Anthony Johnson. He pulled the Reggie Miller tonight, hitting every important shot. And Johnson ends up with 20 points, 85-83. He hit the big 3 while the Pacers were up by 1 inside a last minute and gave Indiana that 4-point cushion that we almost saw go up in smoke after the field goal by Jared Reiner, a near steal, and there is Reggie and Cheryl Miller off the floor, and Reggie, a certain sadness as he leaves the floor with his official regular season career goodbye, hearing it from the crowd, but there will be an encore, and it's called the playoffs. And Reggie Miller and the Pacers now will be back on the floor Saturday night in Boston. It ain't over until it's over.
Well, you can see that he's about to be emotional. And his sister being here, I really think helps him. I think it calms it down. You see player relations and very close friend David Benner there. I think all that is a real plus for Reggie at this particular point. He just needs to kind of unwind, get himself away from everything for a minute so he can, what we call, regroup and gather his thoughts again.
But there is the final score and the final game of the season for the Pacers in the regular season finale for Reggie Miller. Dodge home team. That's the Pacer play of the game. And this is what we were talking about. Reggie Miller gets the assist on the biggest basket of the night. Anthony Johnson, who has become a clutch man, a deliverer for the Indiana Pacers, gives them a 4-point lead with 50 seconds to go. And we invite you to stay tuned. Reggie Miller, the celebration, it is coming. Nobody leaving their seats here at Conseco Fieldhouse. Stay with us here. You will see it in its entirety. It should be extremely emotional. You'll be hearing from Reggie Miller. And this is the final goodbye from the fans to Reggie Miller and vice versa before we head into the playoffs. But before the ceremony, Reggie has been receiving the well wishes from all around, inside and outside the league. And let's hear a few of some of the celebrities who are saying goodbye to Reggie Miller tonight.